What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. NFL DFS video. We are breaking down Thursday Night Football. We are looking at the Los Angeles Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers. We've got a great matchup here. We're very excited. If you've never been to this channel before, welcome. Buckle up, because hopefully we're going to open your eyes and help you open up your bank account with more money playing DFS. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over the statistics from the first 14 weeks of this season and all of the statistics from last season. We're going to break down each position. We're going to look at the captains. After that, we're going to look at building some lineups for you. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to build about 3 lineups on DraftKings, 3 lineups on FanDuel, and 3 lineups on Yahoo. Not a ton of you play Yahoo. Some of you do, and I wanted to bring that to you. So that being said, hopefully you guys are ready to rock and roll. And we are going to have a giveaway. So if you're new to the channel, we do giveaways in these videos. Here's how simple and easy it is. Like the video, be a subscriber to the channel, and you have to leave a comment on this video for the comment picker to pick you up. And that is it. Once the video gets at least 50 likes, you'll have a chance to win a free week of FTA+. That is a week of every sport. So current sports, NBA, NFL, PGA, and MMA. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you have a chance at a free month of FTA+. 150 likes, a chance at a free year. 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a $500 lifetime pass. That is how easy and simple it is. So on Monday Night Football, we got 52 likes and 400 views. So you guys have a 1 in 16 chance to win a free week of FTA+, and that's what we're going to do right now. So the winner of the free week is David Kvetsky. Congratulations, David. Actually, he won the free week from the NBA video from Wednesday as well. So congratulations, David. Please email me. Let me know that you saw. You are the winner. So that's easy, guys. All you got to do is like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment for the comment picker to pick you up. So if you have not already checked out the website yet, please go check us out. FTA Plus is on there. You can check us out, $10 for a week if that's awesome and you want some more. We have a monthly pass, normally $29.99, but if you use the promo code Black Friday, all one word, all capital letters, you'll get the first month for $15 instead of $29.99. A yearly pass, normally worth $199. Use the promo code NBA is back. NBA is back, one word, all capitals. Instead of $199 for the year, you get it for $74.99 while supplies last. And check us out. So we have a ton of content under NFL from our matchup tool, which is a completely free matchup tool, all the way down to a cheat sheet with plays at each position, stacks, and optimal lineups as well. So let's take a look at the game lines and everything like that real quick. So looking at this game, we've got San Francisco with an implied team total of 25.23. We've got the Rams with an implied team total of 23.93. Current line right now, San Francisco is a 2.5-point favorite with a 49 over-under. So we saw a pretty damn good game on Monday Night Football with the over-under, and I think we're going to see that right about here. I think we saw 47 in that game on Monday night. Now, this is a second game with a pretty damn good over-under on a primetime game that we can take advantage of. So looking at statistics from last year till this year. On DraftKings, let's take a look. 84% of the winning lineups have had at least one quarterback. Now, Matt Stafford has been pretty good. Brock Purdy has been up and down. He does have a good matchup here, though. I know San Francisco, he had 25 against Chicago, week 14, 3.16, 19, 26, 26. He's been pretty good outside of the game against Buffalo. So he's got a great matchup here. I absolutely love me some Jawan Jennings in this game for sure. I think both quarterbacks are viable for what we're looking for here. Only 6% of the winning lineups have used all $50,000 salary here. Only 16% of the lineups have used a $200 player or less. So here's where I'm looking at. So they did. So they've already priced up Patrick Taylor to $7,400. It's if Garendo is out, that is where I was going to find some value. So if we do look a little bit further down, Keyshawn Vaughn at $3,400, they've already priced up. They've already priced up all of them. So I don't think there's going to be a $200 player here that makes any sense at all. So I'm probably off of $200 players on this lineup. 80% of the winning lineups have had a $4,000 or less player. So that's where it gets a little bit more interesting. So we are looking at maybe a Tutu Atwell. Kyle Juszczyk could be in there as well. So we obviously know Juszczyk is there. But the problem is Garindo last week, he didn't do anything. Does get a couple of dump-off passes, but that's about it. But maybe they utilize him with Garindo being out and everybody else being on the other running backs. Kyle Juszczyk, Vultures 2 touchdowns. We could be in store for a good game if that happens. So then you're looking further down at other players that you could look at, which I'm okay with under 4,000. Average lineup salary use, 47,500, so leave 2,500 on the table is what has been the consensus, which is okay. And then stacking. So here's the stacking. So both teams are projected very close game, 22.5 runs, right, or 2.5 points right now. So either stack works, but the stack that has won the most, a 4-2 stack, 44% of the time. A 3-3 stack has won 36% of the time, and a 5-1 stack has won only 21% of the time. And then we break down the captain, MVP, or superstar, depending on which website you're playing on. So 39% of the time, it's been a wide receiver. I love me some Puka Nacua. I love me some Juwan Jennings, Cooper Kupp. Those are the main ones that I am looking at here. Debo has let us down more than not. I could see him having a bounce-back game, but Juwan Jennings makes a ton of sense for me in this one. And you pay a little bit more. You pay $1,500 more than Debo. So if you want to save a little bit of money, you could put Debo there. 28% of the time, it has been a running back. So Kyren Williams has been absolutely on fire this year. I would look at him. Garindo, if he's in, I don't think he's going to be in. So basically, the running back I'm looking at is Kyren Williams today. 17% of the time it's been a quarterback. Again, I think both quarterbacks are in store for a good game, so I like both of them. Tight end, 7% of the time, it's George Kittle, and then it's just a plethora of tight ends for the Rams. 7% of the time it's been a defense. I don't know if I'm looking at defenses in this one. And then 2% of the time it's been a kicker. You could look at Moody. You could look at Moody there or Cardi for the Rams. It really doesn't matter. Could be a kicking game as well. Hopefully not, but it could be a kicking game. So that being said, those are the breakdowns. If we look at each position real quick, so the Rams against the opposing quarterbacks, they only give up an average of 20.7 fantasy points per game, which is 25th out of 32. And then San Francisco, 16.5. They are pretty good against the opposing quarterback. So San Francisco's defense could be a good game here. That's per game on DraftKings. So if we are looking at against the opposing running backs, the Rams against the opposing running backs, they are giving up 24 fantasy points per game, which ranks 19th out of 32. And then San Francisco gives up 24.6, 21 out of 32. So Kyren Williams makes a ton of sense here. And then you could find some value depending on how the San Francisco 49ers are going to deal with that. Against opposing wide receivers, the Rams give up an average of 36.1 fantasy points per game to opposing wide receivers. So San Francisco, we're looking at 23 out of 32. And then San Francisco's defense, they give up an average of 30.8, which ranks 7th. So their secondary is pretty good. But again, it's Puka Nacua, it's Cooper Kupp, like almost matchup proof. Wouldn't be surprised if Nacua just feasts here. And then looking at defenses against tight ends, the Rams against opposing tight ends only give up 12.7 fantasy points per game, which is good for 19th out of 32. And then San Francisco, 8.9 fantasy points per game. They rank 3rd out of 32, so they're very good. So if I'm taking a tight end, it's George Kittle or bust pretty much for me in this situation. So that being said, let's take a look. Let's build a couple of lineups of what we can do. So Puka Nacua, I think he's at the top. I love this matchup for him. You obviously want Matt Stafford to throw it to him is where we're going there. And then I think we want to get a little bit of Kyren Williams in here. Now, that will handcuff us a little bit because now we're averaging 4,700 the rest of the way. But let's take a look at a kicker. So Jake Moody, if they think the Rams are going to give up some points or march down the field, Jake Moody could be in a good game there. So now we're at 4,500. Not a ton of great options, but we're still here. So if you think maybe Juszczyk has a bounce back type game where people aren't going to be on him, you could put him at 2,000. And now we're at 7,100, and we're looking at Cardi as a second kicker. It's very hard to build around here. So Persall, and now we've seen he's had some good games and then he's had some down games. So it's been 5 weeks since week 10 that he had a good game. Then a week before that, he was good. He had the targets and the yards. Here, it hasn't been there. People are going to be all over Debo. People are going to be all over like Jawan Jennings. So you could get a little crazy there if you think Keyshawn Vaughn here has a good game. But again, last week, 2 attempts for 4 yards, even with Garindo being out. So didn't do a ton. I was going to say he was on the Jets last year. He's on Hard Knocks. He just got claimed last week. So he's been here, hasn't been active. Could be here, but we'll definitely see. You could look at Colby Parkinson, but again, San Francisco's really good against the tight end. You've got Tyler Johnson, who could be a sneaky option at 1,000. But that's basically it. So 7,100 isn't a ton to do with because you're not going here with the quarterbacks. So it's Cardi. If you think it's going to be a kicking game, you have both kickers, which I'm okay with. You'll have 2,100 on the table. Kind of what you had to do here. So that's one lineup you could look at. Now, that is with Puka Nacua being the top spot. But let's say we want to build a lineup with Kyren Williams being at the top. So Kyren Williams obviously he's a very expensive option here. Second to Nacua. So we put in Kyren Williams there. We could put in Jake Moody again. Or let's put in Brock. I want Brock to be throwing it. Jennings. Let's put in Jawan Jennings at 8,600. Now we're at 5,500 the rest of the way. We could get Moody in there. Let's say we get Cardi in there. Now we're at 6,500. Allows us same kind of thing. Persall, if you think he's going to throw it there, we come down to the Rams. You could look at the defenses if you wanted, like a 49ers defense. So if you look at the 49ers, 13 against Chicago, 1 defensive fumble recovered, a sack. There are 7 sacks. So, I mean, it just depends, but they've had some negative games as well. You got Blake Corum, if you think he's going to do anything. Really hasn't done anything all year. That's the problem with what he brings to the table. Not a ton. So that's kind of what we're looking at in that situation. Maybe Kyle Juszczyk at 2,000. We've left 4,500 on the table. So if we do that, we take away Cardi. We're at 9,500. That now allows us to get Stafford in there. So Stafford... dumping off passes or throwing. We take Juszczyk, Stafford, Moody, Jennings, and Brock Purdy, and we can enter that lineup in there. So that's one other lineup. And then if we're looking at another captain spot, depending on what you could look at, let's say Matt Stafford has a good game. People are going to be on Brock Purdy, but we could save a little bit of money with Matt Stafford here. So Stafford throwing it to Nacua. Depending on where we're going, you could go Cup, you could go just different directions. Let's go Jawan Jennings and Purdy. Now we're at 3,700. I don't like how the pricing has been. So Juszczyk is in there. Now we're at 5,500. Jake Moody, Cardi, whichever one you think it's going to be. Let's go, for instance, if Stafford's having a good game and marches down the field, then it gets down to the kicking game, then we could look at that situation. Now, let's see how pricing is a little bit here. So FanDuel is a little bit different. So you got one less spot, and you got $10,000 more for what we've got. So we've got, I'm under the assumption that Garindo's just not going to be playing this week. Ankle injury and being a short week. I'm just going to build like he is not playing, and I think that's how we want to go. So let's pivot a little bit. People are going to be on Nacua for MVP or captain. Let's put Cooper Kupp in there. Obviously, you want Matt Stafford throwing it to him, and I want to get Brock Purdy in there as well. Now we're at 10,000 for 2 spots. I think we look at him throwing it to Jawan Jennings, who's down at 10,500. Now we're at 9,500. You could go Debo. You could go the 49ers defense, which I'm not going to because we got Kupp and Stafford. Let's put in, you could do Jake Moody and stuff like that, but I'm going to put in Debo here. So we've got the top 2 wide receiving options for San Francisco. We've got the arguably 1A and 1B wide receiver there in Cooper Kupp to Matt Stafford, and that is a lineup that you could do. So let's change it up a little bit. One we haven't talked about. After Nakua, you've got Nakua getting thrown to by Matt Stafford. Patrick Taylor. Let's say he is starting. He's 10,000. I don't know if he will, but let's just, for instance, say he is starting. We're at 11,000. Excuse me. We're at 11,250 here. So if we put in Brock Purdy, we're now at 8,500. We could have either kicker in there. So Moody or Cardi. I'm going to go Moody in that situation. So it is 2 Rams and 3 San Francisco as our second lineup. Now, a player we have yet to mention. We mentioned him, but we have not used him in any of the lineups yet. But we will. It's Mr. George Kittle. So looking at Kittle, I don't think he's going to be my MVP. I think he's going to be my flex option. So George Kittle's in there. Obviously, Brock Purdy's got to throw it to him. Let's take a look. MVP. People are going to be on Nakua at 15, but we could go down and save 2,000 or 1,500, and we're at Cooper Kupp, George Kittle, and Brock Purdy. We get Moody in there because, again, I think it's going to be a kicking game too. So we are at 13,000. We're looking at Stafford throwing it to Cooper Kupp, and I feel pretty comfortable with that. So you got Purdy throwing it to Kittle, you got Stafford throwing it to Kupp, and then you've got Jake Moody as your kicker. And then finally, we've got, and not a lot of you play like we've mentioned, but we've got Yahoo Sports. We are hopefully ready to rock and roll. So looking at Puka Nacua, I think he's at the top. He is very expensive, $3,800. The value is weird because we're not used to the pricing here. But let's get in Patrick Taylor. Again, Garindo's out in my mind. Patrick Taylor's only $10, so you do save a ton of money, at least on this site. You got Matt Stafford throwing it to Nacua. You've got Brock Purdy, which I want as well. And now we are at $23. So we're looking at Garindo and down. I'm saying Garindo is out. So if I'm saying Brock Purdy throwing it to anybody, who would he throw it to? If we could save some money with Kittle, if we could get Kittle in there, that'd be awesome. But I'm going to put Debo in there. Him throwing it to Debo, we've left $6 on the table. That is one lineup. Another way you could go about it would be Kyron Williams. So could put him Kyron Williams in Kupp with Stafford, and then Patrick Taylor. And then just depending on who's going to be in there, I would look at a kicker, whether or not it's Cardi, whether or not it's Moody. It's one way to go. So I'm going to enter this lineup, and that is it, everybody. That is Thursday Night Football Breakdown. We will have some bets go out. I will put a betting video out for Thursday night. I'll also put some bets out in the Discord, which is down below. And if you guys have not already done it, it's the History of YouTube channel down below. We've already talked about it before, but we are having giveaways for that as well. So it's our second, the sponsor to this video. Unpaid sponsor, obviously, but what we're going to do, have a giveaway for this channel. So we are looking to get every 50 YouTube subscribers to this channel, we'll have a monthly giveaway. So every 50 subscribers will have one giveaway. So you got to go in there and you got to leave a comment. So there's more videos than what you guys have saw before. So every 50 subscribers to the It's the History of YouTube channel will have a chance to get a free month of FTA Plus. So make sure you go check them out. Subscribe to that channel. It's our second channel. Watch the videos. Have the watch time. Need 3,000 hours of watch time or 3 million shorts views and 500 subscribers to be monetized. So help us out, and we will help you out with FTA Plus if that's interesting to you. If not, that's completely fine, but I thought I would ask. So that's what I've got in this video. Hopefully you guys had a great time. Make sure you check out all the other content on the site, whether or not it's PGA, MMA, NFL, or NBA. We've got you covered. Good luck in Thursday night, and let's bring home some bacon. Peace.